Hi, I'm just in this video for my old friend Jeff, golfer NKY1. We used to follow each other when I had my old channel Coffee and a Slice of Life, but after I stopped using that I had 2 years off and sort of lost touch with him, but he's come back, and to be honest, I've just watched his latest video and he's looking pretty well. He's looking good. So good on you, Jeff. But I just want to do this video as a video response, not my normal type of daily vlog. This is specifically for Jeff, and if anybody else can get anything from it, great. Jeff on his latest video is talking about stress and anxiety, depression, stuff like that. Now, it is difficult to deal with. On a personal level, I have dealt with it, and to be honest, my understanding of it is it never permanently goes away. It might subside, you might have periods of time where you don't suffer from it, but it's always lying there in the background waiting to be triggered. Maybe it might be years and years and years without anything, but then something might happen and you might just get like a little bout of it, But that's just going off my understanding of it, what I've read, what I've heard other people say. It's never permanently gone, just it's easy to re-trigger. Maybe it's not in any sort of big major way, but it's there, just to make you feel down or whatever. But yeah, Jeff goes on about like anxiety. He's got his, I forgot what you call them, where you got coping mechanisms. That's it, coping mechanisms. Whereas if he's feeling the effects of it, the stress, anxiety, whichever, he's got things he can do at the time. But he gets stressed when he's driving, gets anxious when he's driving. Only thing I can put down to that is anxiety and depression and everything. It's a weird thing. It messes with your brain, whereas you don't even think logically. I know from when I went through it, and my family ended up having to deal with us, obviously, because they were looking after me. You don't think like a logical person like you normally would do. So when you're driving, you might actually consciously or subconsciously or whatever be thinking, I don't want to feel anxious when I'm driving, but that thought triggers you to feel anxious, if that makes sense. So you feel anxious because you don't want to feel anxious, if that makes sense. That's the only thing I could think of. Maybe you're just anxious about the worry of being anxious when you're driving. It's a weird thing. I couldn't even think straight when I went through stuff. Simple things like Denise might ask, do you want a cup of coffee? And I wouldn't even be able to decide. What do you want to do? No idea. It was quite a few times Denise had to make the decision, right, you're doing this, we are going here, you're having this to eat, you are going to have this to drink, you're going in the bath, or whatever, because I just could not make simple decisions. I wasn't functioning as the normal human being, that I am. I just couldn't do it. And I went to counselling, different types of counselling, none of which worked as far as I'm concerned. Loads of different medications, to the point where admittedly, like, I didn't always keep up with the medication, so they didn't work properly. But when I did stick to it, I don't know. I still don't know if it worked or not, or whether it was just me. Because I ended up having a change of job and different things changed in my life, and it got to the point where in my brain was functioning enough for me to say, right, I've had enough. And I came off the antidepressants and beta blockers and all the other stuff I was on. And I thought, nah, I've had enough of being on all this rubbish. Don't get us wrong, they're all sitting there in the cupboard if I need them, but I don't intend taking any. I don't want to take any. I've been off them for, well, I think about 6 months now, something like that. I'm functioning just fine without them. Admittedly, there's little times at work, because I do driving for a job now. There's times when the slightest thing, I'm like cursing other drivers, things like that. Or I start getting a bit stressed. But it passes quickly, a lot more quickly than it used to when I was suffering from depression and stress and anxiety and all that. There's still times now when I find it hard to talk about. But one thing I do know is when somebody I know or hear of somebody who says they've got depression or stress, anxiety or whatever, I think of it a whole lot different than I used to. One time, because I'd never gone through it, I used to think, oh, they're just feeling a bit down or whatever, you know. But haven't been through it, and in my mind being to a very dark place where I do not want to go back to. I don't think of it so lightly now. Anybody who's suffering with stress, anxiety, depression, or has, yeah, it's no laughing matter at all. It can ruin a person, you know, if it's not treated. Yeah, I'm not even sure what else to say about this. It's, like I say, it's quite a hard subject to talk about. But one thing I will say, Jeff, it's really good that you found somebody who was prepared to support you. And just watching you talk, you can tell you're happy. You know, you can tell it's how much it's like changed you. You know, it's like it's a massive thing having somebody there to give you that shoulder to cry on or whatever, be there just to listen, be that, for want of a better word, that rock for you, you know. I've got Denise, and like, even we told Georgia what was happening and tried to explain as best as we could to a teenager about it and explain what it's like. And Georgia used to listen, but like Denise was like a massive shoulder for me to cry on, and probably cry on as well a good few times. But yeah, Jeff, it takes a big person to stand up and sort of open up on YouTube like that. Like Stu said in his video that I've just watched, you you know YouTube. You've been on it quite a while. You open yourself up to like all the haters coming out and all that, but you still went and did it, and I applaud you for that. That's a massive thing. I've said so many times to loads of people, YouTube is like a virtual therapy session. You do basically talk to yourself, and it's helped me a lot. I know there's other people who it's helped, just recording stuff, talk to the camera. Like Stu says, it's like talking to a therapist, a psychic, shrink. You know what I mean. But I know I'm waffling on a bit now, but Jeff, big thumbs up to you, mate. Best wishes. I'm glad you're happy, and drop me a line anytime you like. No bother whatsoever. Take care.